Good evening.
Good evening.
I'll be doing a piece called Messenger, and this is for those who felt no one was listening. This is a piece that I wrote a while ago, a piece that I wrote while I was in school, and I wanted to put a piece together that would try to speak to all of the women, whether it's us, people in our family, people who we see on the street, so I tried to include most of them here. Messenger, for those who felt no one was listening. I am the voice. I speak for those who have been silenced by chain or gag or threat. I am the voice of the ancient woman warrior who led Maroons to victory, and of the food gatherers who fed villages at a time and whose weapons were the earth's offspring. I speak for those women who have been robbed of their bodies and whose rape of mind and soul can never heal like their physical wounds. For those who have faced their rapists and were still told they were looking for it, as if the word no had never made it out of their throat. For those who tried to escape and died trying, and the ones that did escape but were already dead. I am the loud voice of the freedom fighters, the women who fought for equality and independence, but were silenced by iron-barred hells. For Angela, Asata, and Lolita, and also for the mothers who took care of our children while the movements moved on and on and on. I strike with the tongue of my mother, the Spitfire Puerto Rican who would not allow the degrading of any woman, who denied traditional obligation and who would not accept my father's manly ways. I taste the spices with my grandmother's palate, who took pride in the caring and nursing and nurturing of those who looked to her for comfort, tranquility, and culture. For the businesswoman who gets paid less than John for doing the same job as John and wish the pats on her back weren't so low. For the woman who must wait for a check that taxpayers consider a lazy lounging, soap watching, baby popping, drug selling, social security number forging, trifling individual who only wants to feed her children, which this nation slowly starves. I am the voice that calls out to passing cars, the woman who sells and shoots up, sells and shoots up, sells to shoot up, and whose inner thighs have grown callous like her soul. I rise with the voice of the lesbian who has been disowned by friends and families and strangers, who only finds refuge in her own thoughts, whose love has been made unnatural by those who cannot, will not, and do not understand. I am the voice of the independent woman who doesn't take shit from any man and finds herself alone and happy. Of the woman who takes the fist of the beast day in and day out, accepting that other women take her place when her husband deems necessary. For the same woman who is warned to leave before she dies at his hands, but only hears when it is too late, and only knows when it is too late, that happiness in that world would never have been on time. I scream with the lungs of the woman who carried the world upon her shoulders and a life in her pyramid walls, who bled and pushed, who pushed and bled to finally nurse from her breast. I shed the tears of the woman who cries herself to sleep for her unborn child, who could not give life to, but does not regret it. I speak with the native tongue of the Aztec, Mayan, and Taína queens that has been cut out by colonialism's sharp spear. I sing the spirituals my African slave sister sang in order to keep from crying. I click the broken Spanish my city Latina aunts speak when they speak about the islands where their coconuts grow. I speak for those who did not have a voice, who cannot have a voice, and those whose words will never reach our ears. For my sisters and mothers and lovers and friends we could never hear or wanted to listen to. For the ones that have found peace within and those who are lost forever. For you, woman, you are a beautiful song waiting to be sung. But do not worry, for if your voice cannot be heard, I will find what lives in your heart and make sure all the world will learn the words and sing. Thank you.